Good evening and a very happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at 6:30. It was a pretty nice day outside weather-wise, except for one thing, and that would be the haze in the sky back in the forecast from those wildfires up in Canada. But besides that, like I said, pretty nice day. The sun is trying to make an appearance. It is pretty warm out there. So, Joe, what does the weekend look like? Any more haze lingering?
Yeah, we're kind of at the peak right now through tonight. There'll still be some tomorrow.
Okay.
And again, it's that smoke from fires up in Canada, that another round of that kind of drifting through here. But it looks like by late Saturday night to Sunday, we're going to push that north and out of our area. And so we should see by Sunday, I think, that improving. We're looking at a pretty warm weekend, too, coming up. I think our warmest spots may be on Sunday, touching 90 degrees, Maya. So we'll have that. The humidity, of course, rising with that. We'll look at that and what to expect all the way through much of next week, coming up a little later.
Okay, thank you so much, Joe. And sticking with weather, the National Weather Service surveyed the areas where potential damage and funnel clouds were reported. NWS crews were on the ground in Sheboygan County today, confirming there was not a tornado yesterday. Through their surveying, they discovered a lot of debris, trees, and damage, but they believe that was actually unrelated, likely left behind by that March ice storm and not this most recent bout of severe weather. Take a listen.
One thing that we look at is the direction that trees are laying down. So, for example, there's a circulation with the tornado. So if trees are laying down in different directions and we find that could be a strong indicator that a tornado took place, as opposed to if the trees are just laying down all in one direction, that could be a strong indicator that that damage was caused by straight line winds with a thunderstorm and not a tornado.
And tonight on Up North Live News at 11, we'll have more on the surveying process from the National Weather Service. Well, of course, it is July, but the holiday spirit will be in Cadillac tomorrow. The Salvation Army is throwing a Christmas in July party, but there is a bigger mission behind it. This will be the first ever summer party. It is open and free for the community to attend. There will be bounce houses and a silent auction, but the event is helping raise money and awareness for something with real impact, a mobile shower trailer to support those experiencing homelessness or people recovering from disasters.
And it won't just be for the unhoused community. The showers are an option. The showers are obviously available to anyone. Power goes out, your electric's off, you need water, you can come use that. They will also be utilized for disaster relief.
Organizers say they hope the event grows and it keeps bringing the community together for a cause that matters. The Christmas in July party will take place from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Again, that is tomorrow at the Salvation Army in Cadillac. And you can learn a lot about a region of Michigan just by reading the road signs along Michigan highways, which some proclaim who that stretch of road is dedicated to. Well, there could be a new sign soon along a busy stretch of M22 in Leelanau County. And as our Mark Shillette reports, it could educate a few drivers about the patriotism and sacrifice of Michigan's Company K.
It's a form of therapy that does not come out of a prescription bottle.
All across northern Michigan, Scott Schwander spent countless hours tending to veterans' grave markers.
This is what I call God's golden acre. And everybody here is equal.
Equal here, but as a Native American, Scott knows that hasn't always been the case everywhere, especially in 1861.
Several Native Americans attempted to enlist, but they were refused because they were not United States citizens.
By 1864, with casualties mounting and the need for more soldiers to defend the Union, a change in policy.
Overnight, 129 men volunteered to be the part of 1st Michigan Sharpshooters Company K.
2 of them with special ties to Scott.
My great-great-grandfather was Marcus Otto, and he enlisted with his brother Solomon.
Those volunteer men from Michigan went on to serve and fight. Company K was everywhere.
And in the Battle of Gettysburg, when the courthouse was taken, it was the flag of the 1st Michigan Sharpshooters that flew above that courthouse. The first time a Union flag had been flown on Confederate soil, and the 1st Michigan Sharpshooters Company K were there.
When the war ended, those Native soldiers who weren't considered citizens, weren't allowed to vote, went home. And their service and sacrifice often faded and forgotten.
That was such a special group of people who stepped up, and frankly, they did not get the recognition they deserved.
But Senator John DeMoose is looking to change that. Give the native men from Michigan a little nod.
They probably knew more about the idea of fighting for freedom than almost anybody else fighting in that Civil War, perhaps the exception being what was called at the time the USCT, the U.S. Colored Troops, who were literally fighting for their own freedom.
Senator DeMoose testifying to his fellow lawmakers for support of his Senate Bill 41, which would dedicate a few-mile stretch of M22 near Shabbytown as the Company K Civil War Memorial Highway.
Some people think, well, this is a little bit of lightweight stuff when we've got real serious problems in the state. And that's a good argument that holds water. But every now and then one of these comes along that means something.
And the service of those who dealt with oppression and rejection, but still chose to serve, is something special in the senator's eyes.
These were people who were facing their own serious oppression and yet rose up to fight for our union and to fight to free the slaves. I mean, this is a big deal.
If this becomes law, a sign like this gets installed.
We may see the only Civil War highway dedication dedicated to Native American soldiers in the United States. It could be the only one.
A recognition that may be 160 years past due. A lesson in history learned at 50 miles an hour.
If you're in Leelanau County and you see this sign and you drive by it over and over and over again, at some point, some kid is going to look and say, I wonder who Company K was. And they're going to go look it up. And they're going to be remembered for their service. And they're going to be honored for their service. This means something to people. This is not meaningless. It means something.
Thanks to our Mark Gillette for that story. Senator DeMoose's bill is working its way through the House and Senate. It is not expected to hit any roadblocks, and if the governor does sign it, the road will officially be dedicated. We will keep you posted on its progress. Well, turning over to state news and a bit of a frightening situation. A downstate mom wants to know how her 7-year-old daughter ended up in a rideshare all alone. She said her child was taking part in a summer school program when the incident happened last week. Brett Cass spoke to her about that ordeal.
It's a whole process that they're supposed to go through, and they skip the complete process and just put her in a Lyft.
Shantasia Harmon still has questions about how her 7-year-old daughter ended up in a Lyft ride by herself after a miscommunication about who was picking her up after summer school Friday at Chandler Park Academy.
So you don't know where they were going to drop her off at?
No, I don't know the area or anything.
Shantasia says a teacher with a similar name as her daughter had ordered a ride home, but when the driver pulled up, school staff heard the name and told her daughter to get in.
My daughter got in the Lyft. She made it all the way to the people's house. And when she got there, the Lyft was telling her to get out. She refused to get out. She was frightened. She was scared. She was crying. Once the Lyft driver noticed it, she called the school.
Shantasia says the school has now begun stricter policies before releasing kids. And in a statement, the school says those involved have been placed on administrative leave pending investigation, adding in part, quote, "The safety and well-being of our students is our highest priority, and we take this matter extremely seriously. As such, we promptly contacted the family on learning of the incident and took the necessary steps to secure the safety of the student."
I can say I see them trying to take an initiative, but I feel like this should have been going on because this should have never happened.
Shantasia also questions how her 7-year-old was able to ride in the Lyft, despite company policy prohibiting unaccompanied minors from using the platform.
She don't look 18. You can look at her and tell she's not 18. She don't even look 10. She's a small child.
In a statement, the company said, quote, "We're a community that prioritizes safety, and we take reports like this extremely seriously. This was an understandably distressing incident, which we are in the process of investigating. Our initial review indicates this was a result of a miscommunication at the pickup location."
You wouldn't send your child off with a stranger, so don't send mine off. I don't never in my life want a child to feel how my daughter felt.
That was Brett Cass reporting from downstate Harper Woods. The child has since returned to school. Well, the DNR and U.S. Army Corps of Engineers are doing construction on a weir in northern Michigan. It's to stop the spread of an invasive fish, the sea lamprey. Meteorologist Trevor Robideau spoke to a member of the DNR to learn more about the project, which has begun construction.
Here at the Little Manistee River Weir, the Michigan DNR and USACE are building a barrier to help eradicate the invasive sea lamprey in Michigan.
They are a parasitic fish that attaches to other fish and feeds off of the bodily fluids of these other fish, ultimately killing the fish. There's been, historically they were devastating to the Great Lakes fishery, whitefish, lake trout, these native species that were important at the time.
The DNR has realized that a lot of structures like this weir built in the late 60s need upgrades. This renovation will not only stop sea lamprey from infesting more than 41 miles of Little Manistee River, but also improve the weir's function.
We need to rebuild the lamprey barrier and weir structure in the stream with the grading and some of the parts of the in-stream structure are beginning to really weather and fall apart. So a new weir is necessary, and a new barrier to stop lamprey would ultimately result in having to treat a lot less river miles.
The project started this week, and the plan is to have the project finished by the spring of 2026. But we'll have to halt operations at times in the fall this year to perform the Chinook salmon egg take.
A lot of the in-water work will happen over the next few weeks before we gear up for the Chinook salmon egg take that typically starts the first couple of weeks of October. Any remaining work to complete the project, we're hopeful would happen after salmon egg take, late fall and into winter.
The DNR and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers want to remind everyone that the weir will remain open during construction, but urge people to heed detours and not vandalize any property on site.
There's a buoy system across the river to remind people where to get out to portage around. We had a minor incident where someone has cut the rope and released those buoys. We would just ask the public to please be respectful of the construction site, not do these types of things. It's for everybody's safety.
Hanselman says this project will likely open doors for new improvements in sea lamprey prevention in the future. In Manistee County, Trevor Robideau, Up North Live News.
On to a different kind of project. This one, an outdoor resort project south of Cadillac, could be one step closer to breaking ground. Developers are set to present its plans to the Clam Lake Township Planning Commission for approval to move forward with the project. The plan for the Haven of Cadillac includes high-end glamping units like some eco-domes you see here and mini cabins, along with future upscale RV sites, all spread along 70 acres of land. The first stage includes up to 20 units with an emphasis on preserving natural features like woodlands and walking trails. Developers say the goal is to create a peaceful, nature-focused experience.
We're doing it in a way that's easy to understand, that's good for our neighbors, because we want to be a great neighbor with our local businesses in the area. So I'm glad that we're having all of those discussions so we can collaborate so that we're not only a great place for our guests to stay, but we're creating an entire experience for everyone in Clam Lake Township and the city of Cadillac, just in general.
And the Clam Lake Township Planning Commission will review the request Monday at 6 p.m. If approved, construction it could begin in spring of 2026. All right, we have a special edition for your Friday. It is time for this week's adoption options. Usually we show this in the 5. Well, today we wanted to show you in our 6:30 as well. Take a look at this sweet boy named Rocky. Rocky is 5 years old, is learning obedience and leash manners while at the shelter. He is a very good boy. He doesn't mind baths, doesn't mind being brushed. If you want to meet Rocky, you can do that at the Misaki Humane Society in Lake City. And take a look at this cutie. This is Taz, a senior gal. She's looking for more of a quiet home. So maybe if you're an older person looking for some company, Taz could be your gal. You can meet Taz at the Northern Purr Rescue in Roscommon County. All right, up next, oh my goodness, Pee-wee, a 3-month-old terrier mix. The little guy has a big heart. Cannot wait to join you on your next adventures. You can meet Pee-wee at the Little Traverse Bay Humane Society in Harbor Springs. And last but not least, here is Petey, a 4-year-old who is very treat motivated, has just absolutely gorgeous eyes, loves walks and exploring. You can meet Petey at the Sauble Valley Animal Shelter in Grayling. We have more animals in need of loving homes on our website, UpNorthLive.com. And speaking of animals needing loving homes, let's take a look at our question of the day. Have you ever adopted an animal from a shelter? Scan the QR code on your screen right now, or you can head over to our website to vote. As of right now, it looks like 88% of people are saying yes. You can also leave a comment on Facebook, and I'm seeing a lot of pictures of people's pets. That is strongly encouraged here on Unscripted. So please leave a comment and a picture of your pet. We'll take a look at those toward the end of the show. We're going to take a quick break, but Jill will have much more in your weekend forecast coming up next.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
All right, well, we made it to the weekend. If you have any outdoor plans, you're probably curious what the forecast is going to be like. So here is our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix, to let you know what to expect. Hi, Joe.
We were talking about a lot of important things in the break. Mario
Mario
right?
and Princess Peach. Turns out they're just friends, according to Nintendo. Anyway, weather.
All right. Yeah, the weekend is almost here, and it looks like a nice one coming up here. Although on Sunday especially, it's going to be a little warm to hot in some spots. Take a look, though, at our weather cameras and hazy skies. It's really noticeable. Traverse City, you can see it. Gaylord, too. Also Cadillac. That sky looks just kind of white compared to blue. That's because we do have some smoke. And all of our viewing areas in air quality alert. That's in effect through the rest of this evening. We'll see if that's reissued for tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised, because as we take a look at our smoke forecast, this is going to gradually linger over the area tonight through tomorrow morning, but then the wind will shift out of the south. This is mid-morning tomorrow, and then watch what happens. It'll push the smoke north and out of here by the time we head into Sunday. So I think by Sunday morning, we should see a marked improvement in some of the air quality out there. It's dry. We had a stormy day yesterday, some rain in spots. That front that passed through our area is now stuck downstate near Detroit, back through Chicago, where they've had flash flood warnings. Some very heavy rain in metro Chicago earlier. Cubs White Sox playing there tonight. We'll see how that goes. And as we take a look at our longer range forecast here, a little bit of that moisture is going to pool and start making its way northward tomorrow. So I do think if you're in the lower peninsula, you may run into a shower or thunderstorm tomorrow as we get into late morning and afternoon. So right in through there, a little more likely south of Grayling. And then Sunday, we're back to dry weather. It looks like a nice one Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, although it is going to be warm. You can see the dew point climbing. There's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we're getting back to that muggy category, especially Sunday and Monday, and then it'll start to improve a little bit later next week. And if you want to hit the beach this weekend, at least on the Great Lakes, here are the buoy temperatures. And right now we're sitting in the mid-60s to mid-70s out there. All right, the extended forecast, here it is. A couple things to take away from this. A warm weekend, hazy skies in spots. Monday, a front comes in, chances in the afternoon and evening for some showers and storms. Then notice later next week, Wednesday through Friday, that's a pretty nice forecast. Mid-70s and low humidity, and it looks dry too. So we'll have a comfortable end to the week next week, Maya.
All right, looking forward to that, Joe. Thank you so much for that. Let's take another quick break, but don't go anywhere just yet. Sports is coming up next. Stay with us. The journey begins for a record 116 teams tomorrow night from Grayling to Oscoda as part of the 77th Au River Canoe Marathon. And sports director Harrison Beebe found out just how much it takes to do that by interviewing a few former champions while at the time trials in Grayling this week.
Once you're really in it, it's hard to get back out.
It's not even paddling. I think it's more the logistic about it.
It's an electric atmosphere. The paddling community is really tight-knit, even though it's a huge race. A lot of people Pretty much everybody knows everybody. It's kind of like a family community as far as the paddlers go.
You need a little bit of everything to win this race, and that is what draws competitive paddlers from all across North America to be a part of it every summer.
I wanted to do this because racing all night, like nonstop. The classic we have in Quebec is in 3 legs, 3 days. But this one is one shot nonstop during the night. Like I want to do it every year. It's so much fun.
The cool nights help a lot. It's more like if you flip your sleep schedule, it's just like going out for a lazy, long 15-hour paddle.
The Canoe Marathon is the middle portion of the North American Triple Crown, which takes canoers all the way from Cooperstown, New York, up to Quebec by the end of the season.
There's a lot of canoe races back home, and this is number 2 of the big 3 races in the Northeast. The Triple Crown, yep.
You've done all 3 then?
Absolutely. Almost every year for the last 15-something years.
The Northern Michigan community leaves a huge imprint on out-of-town racers as it keeps them coming back every summer to want to take another overnight river excursion.
The environment around the race itself is electric, and it's just a chaotic night, fun night to watch. Nature and everything is such a big part of the lifestyle up here. It like everybody's into it, everybody knows about it.
You start the race with a huge crowd, and then like a couple minutes after, it's like so quiet in the forest in the night, and then you get to a bridge and you get so much energy, and then it goes calm again. So the crowd is amazing. The course, the river is amazing too. We don't have those tiny twisty rivers back home. The whole atmosphere, the organization, the volunteers, everybody here is just awesome.
Thanks to Harris and Beebe for that report. Let's take a quick break, but we'll check out the live results for our question of the day related to adopted animals and read some of your comments straight ahead.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Our question of the day tonight: have you ever adopted an animal from a shelter? 88% yes, 12% no. Over on Facebook, I highly recommend going to our Facebook page because a lot of people are posting pictures. I can't show you those, but I can read some of the comments. So let's see. Someone says, a 7-year-old, now I adopted Kipper from Osable Animal Shelter. Leah says, I adopted Mora, which is Polish for Tabby, from Otsego County Animal Shelter. And of course, there's pictures with all these comments. You have to go check it out for yourself. Kathy says, yes, we all are adopted after I discovered that we couldn't have them naturally. Well played, Kathy. Well played. Like I said, head over to the Facebook page to see a lot of cute pictures of pets. We are all out of time here on Unscripted. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock tonight.